to this video with Elite Weather. My name is Dooley Godot with the forecast for folks that are in the Midwest right now. If you're in the Central Plains as well as the lower Mississippi Valley, I'm talking to you and some folks in the upper Midwest, of course. As far north as the Minnesota border with Iowa, we're going to be talking about some severe weather coming up for your Tuesday. But as for today, your Monday, that storm in question is currently over California, and it's raining some rain, heavy rain at times, and some thunderstorms in the LA area, as well as Orange County and San Diego are seeing some of those rain showers, and a little bit of snow in the mountains above the 6,000 foot level. They'll be seeing that, as well as some high winds to about 30 to 40 miles per hour in some locations across Southern California. But that storm is also spreading some precipitation, some rain and some snow mixed precipitation into the mountains of the Sierras, as well as some of the mountains of Utah and northern Arizona is seeing some of that snow and rain, as well as that whole system is going to make its way to the middle of the country for your Tuesday. And we're going to talk about some severe weather, and there's also some issues with fire dangers, as well, as we're going to take a look at some maps and some other things that's going to walk us through the progression of this storm as it moves out into the central part of the nation. So let's take a look now at our big synopsis of what's going on across the country, what we're going to see for your Tuesday. And as you can see here, right here in the center of the country, we got northern Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas here. We're going to be seeing that severe weather begin to work its way into your forecast. And now this is going to be a slight risk of severe weather taking place. And that means you're going to have some scattered severe thunderstorms with that chance of some tornadoes, large hail, and damaging wind. There could also be some flooding concerns, as you can have very heavy rain over a localized area in a short amount of time. So that can create some flash flooding as well. So that's going to be some of the threats that you're going to see in this region here. So cities like Dallas, Oklahoma City, as well as you folks in Wichita, Kansas, and Kansas City, Missouri, going to see that potential for that severe weather on your Tuesday afternoon. But if you look just to the west of that severe weather box, we see this here. Now this indicates fire danger. So we have a red flag warning over parts of Texas as well as Oklahoma. See the extreme fire dangers, and we have very dry conditions, relatively warm air. We have those temperatures in the 90s in these locations, and we have very high winds. In some instances, winds as high as 70 miles per hour across some of those open prairies, so that we can see that risk there for grass fires that grow quite quickly and get out of control in those type of conditions. So we're going to keep an eye out for a fire danger. There's actually some fires burning right now in Colorado. We did have that big fire. We do have that big fire around the Boulder area that has caused some damage and some evacuations as well. So that's a very dangerous situation. But those conditions will spread over this entire area here from Kansas into parts of Colorado, into Oklahoma, and as far south as El Paso and West Texas. We're going to see that fire danger. But out to the southwest, we do have that wet rainfall and some of that mountain snow that's going on out in Southern California, as this entire area is going to begin to make its way out into the central part of the nation. And we will see that freezing rain across parts of the upper Midwest and the Great Lakes for your Tuesday, and that's going to extend all the way into Pennsylvania and upstate New York, maybe Buffalo, Pittsburgh, might see Cleveland, Detroit, as well as Green Bay and Minneapolis and St. Paul is going to see that potential for freezing rain on your Tuesday. And we're talking about anywhere from 1/10 of an inch to about 1/4 of an inch of that freezing rain. And we could see some thunderstorms work its way as far north as Minnesota as well. So that potential for a mixed bag of weather exists for the upper plains for your Tuesday. So you can see some frozen precipitation as well as some thunderstorms. So that is a look of what the synopsis looks like for your Tuesday. Let's take a look at that severe weather threat more closely as we see this region here from central Texas through Oklahoma, as well as Kansas, parts of western Missouri, Arkansas, southern Iowa, and southeastern Nebraska could see that potential for a slight risk of severe weather. You have these darker green, that extends through most of Iowa, Nebraska. We have Colorado here, and we have, excuse me, not Colorado, but we have central Kansas, central Oklahoma, and a little bit of central and southern Texas can see that marginal risk, and that means just isolated severe pulse-type thunderstorms, pop-up storms. Some of them can get kind of nasty, drop some smaller hail, and gusty winds, maybe a very isolated, maybe a smaller tornado with those, but it's a little bit more organized. In the yellow sections, you see that slight risk, meaning they're a little bit more scattered, a little bit more numerous, a bit more intense in this region. That's where your higher chance of seeing that severe weather exists. And you'll see this system work its way to the east as we make our way through the remainder of this week. But that's what we're going to be looking at for your Tuesday for the center part of the nation. But we see general thunderstorms extending all the way into the Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, as well as parts of Illinois, central Missouri, and northern Indiana could see general thunderstorms out of all of this activity. That's from that major storm that's working its way to the east. Here is a look at our severe threat analysis. There it is across the Central Plains, and what we're seeing here is that tornado threat is at a slight rest. So we're looking at about a 5% chance of seeing a tornado, about 15% chance for damaging winds, as well as large hail. That flooding is less than 5%, so I went with no really real big issues from flooding, as most of the rain showers of this is going to be isolated and it's going to be confined to localized areas. So I don't see any great big areas of flooding, just some localized street and small stream flooding issues from heavy rainfall. So that is a look at our severe weather analysis for this storm. Here we go with our severe threat, and I'm going to give this storm an 8 out of 12. So if that severe weather, it's going to be a bit numerous, a good amount, such a large area. So I see a good amount of the potential for severe weather to take place, since we're dealing with a large area that could see those severe storms. So I'm going to go with the 8 out of 12 on this particular day for your Tuesday. And when it comes to fire weather, here is that extreme fire danger across West Texas, predominantly here, parts of New Mexico, Oklahoma, and southwestern Kansas can see those dry, gusty winds blowing and that relatively warm weather that's going to help to fuel the potential for brush fires in these locations. So it's a particularly dangerous situation as the humidity is below 3% through much of just air. What we're going to see when that storm system comes through is a dry line setup, so they're not going to get much relief from the dryness, as that dry line is going to help in to help those severe storms develop in the afternoon. So that dry weather is going to play a role with our severe weather also on Tuesday. And here we are with our fire weather threat, and we have that strong winds that's going to be blowing to 70 miles per hour in some locations, especially across Kansas and Oklahoma. You can see those high winds blowing across the prairies out there. So it's extreme wind danger as well as dry air, as that humidity is below 3%. And high temperatures, it's high because temperatures are above 90 degrees for the most part in most areas out there. So that is a look at some of the fire threat and the severe threat. Here's the temperature so you can see in this part of the country. And as you look at Texas here, you do see those 90s here across central Texas, and those 80s and stuff extend all the way up to Nebraska. You can see those warm temperatures, and that's where that dry air is going to be, and that fire danger exists in all of these locations, all the way down here in the central and southern Texas, where you see those mid 90s in place there, and you're going to see that too. And you will see that dry air in place as that storm comes into the plains. But if you're here in Dallas, it's a little bit more moisture. You'll see that tropical fetch come up from the Gulf of Mexico. That storm is going to pull that Gulf of Mexico moisture up from the Gulf of Mexico, and it's going to pull it into the south and into the Midwest. You're going to see that hair and mist, and you'll see those dew points rise into the 70s and 80s, the 60s and the 60 degrees dew point in some of these locations for your Tuesday. So you'll see those dew points rise as that moisture comes in off of the Gulf of Mexico, and it's going to interact with that dry line to that dry air out west. And that was a look at what's going on with the severe weather threat for your Tuesday. I'll be back here for Wednesday to take a look at what's going to be going on in the states to the east on the following day. We're talking the deep south like Louisiana and Mississippi, Alabama and stuff, maybe into Kentucky and Tennessee. You folks are going to start to see that severe weather work your way, and I'll be back then with an update on what that will look like for your Wednesday, okay? All right, thank you and have a good day, and I'll see you in the next video. And remember to subscribe to this channel, leave a like, and leave your comments about your opinions about the severe weather threat. What do you think is going to be the most that we'll see out of this storm, and what area do you live in? Are you in the severe weather zone for this system? If you are, leave your comments in the comment section, and I'll be sure to take a look at them. Thanks, and have a good day.